Hey, I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTrackGear.com. You know, I decided that we would document what it takes to prepare for and compete in the SportbikeTrackGear.com MotoAmerica Junior Cup Series. This is the first installment of just that. For this episode number one, what we're going to focus on is the things I have to get done right now. Okay, let's talk about our general state of affairs. This is the race bike that Max rode the 3 MotoAmerica rounds on, a couple of Weir rounds. The motor, done by Jamie Hanshaw Racing Engines here, local guy, does a fantastic job. That has 3 races on it, so we're still in good shape there. We're going to at least run that for the tire test, okay? I have 2 more engines back there now that are just sitting there. One's in a crate, one's not. I'm gonna take one of those this week to Jamie so he can get that done so we have one completely fresh motor, okay? I need to get the shock off. We're gonna run K-Tech again this year. I need to get the shock off and get that sent out to Lenny Albin from K-Tech out in Arizona, and I wanna get that done today. As well as, and this is our kind of our rolling chassis here. This is what we did last year. I bought a second bike. The motor's out of it. We had used the motor at some track days. The forks from it are actually on that bike now, right? Because we had an issue with these. I'd done a fork rebuild and I replaced the sliders on it. And I don't know if this was on me or if it was on the sliders that I installed, but it ended up scoring the tubes, the fork tubes. So I'm gonna send the forks to Lenny. He's got new fork tubes for it. He's just gonna go through and overhaul the K-Tech cartridges that are in there, right, and just get us started for the season. So I need to get those off today and get those sent out as well. Throughout this video, we're probably just gonna show you a little bit of B-roll, what it takes to, you know, pull the shock, pulling the forks. Just, this is not really a how-to video. This is more just documenting where we're at today. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and pull the shock off now. This is pretty basic job. I've got one of the OEM ones sitting off to the side because I do need to still move this bike around. We'll just get that put on there kind of as a placeholder, right, while this one's gone. Ultimately, the plan is to get another shock for the bike. Because I want to have a complete second bike for Max. I like to have one that's can serve as spare parts and also be a bike that we can take to track days and ride. Because what I don't want to do, I don't want to have Max out there putting a bunch of time on the motors that we need for MotoAmerica. Because with these bikes, if you're down on power even just a little bit, you have 0 chance. This class is so competitive. You know, so you don't want to put unnecessary time on the motor. The plan for the second bike is to have it be basically identical to the first. You know, I want everything to be and feel the same for him, so when he's out there riding it, you know, it feels exactly like what he's going to be on at MotoAmerica. One of the big differences with the bikes is, of course, the whole rev limiting rule that's in place, right? You know, we have to limit the revs on the bike to 10,350. And what I don't want to do is, you know, you take them to a track day and you get them used to, you know, the full range, and then we go back to MotoAmerica and he's got to figure everything all out again. So I'm going to put together 2 identical bikes. And with MotoAmerica, what you're not able to do, right, is I can't take that bike there and use it as a second bike. The way the rules package is designed, right, you can't just wheel another bike out of the trailer. If you have a engine failure, you know, whatever the case may be, there is no using the second bike, which is kind of a bummer. but you know, those are the rules. Okay, now we're gonna get the forks and remove those. Get those sent out to Lenny. Like I said, I don't know what happened there and how much the camera's gonna pick up, but it scored the tubes just enough, right? They're vertical score marks that on every stroke, it was dragging oil back up. We noticed it a little bit at Indy, between Indy and California. Had no time whatsoever to do anything. You know, I gotta work every day too. And I expected, based on what we had at Indy, that we were gonna be good. You know, so we traveled out to Laguna and had the bike in the trailer. And I don't know if you guys followed our journey there or not, but man, I gotta tell you, we drove through all kinds of friggin' blizzard over the Bighorn Mountains on the way there. So we went through all kinds of weather. It's cold, you know, so we got there, there was definitely some fork oil leaking, and I was a little bit concerned. And you know, we weren't able to, with K-Tech, get it serviced at that round, unfortunately, because they didn't have their full service available. It's something they're upgrading for 2021. You know, and the guys at Owens, we do a lot of business with them as well, they were able to step up and get us hooked up, but that was a problem I didn't anticipate, and I didn't have a fully built spare set of forks. You know, so that's another thing that the plan is to address that this year. I not only want to have 2 complete bikes, but I'm going to have another set of forks that I'll just have in the trailer ready to rock and roll, right, without having to remove them from the motorcycle, right? Because that process, you know, takes time, of course. And if we're in the, you know, say, you know, we have a crash, you know, we need to make sure that we have enough time available to get the kid, you know, back together and back out there on a bike that's in good working condition. So having a spare set of forks is going to be really important, I think, to our program. You know, so what you're seeing here, this is a lot easier than doing it on an actual bike. This bike is just in pieces, right? See, we just got nothing but a frame, a gas tank, a couple of wheels. We gotta get a list together, all the spares, all the parts I need to build the second bike. I do have a little additional time there. We have a tire test coming up with MotoAmerica. That's going to be March 30th and 31st. It's supposed to happen down there at Coda. Should be pretty badass. It's another track the kid gets to ride that the old man's never been on, but it's all good. And then our first race will not be, I believe, until April. So I have more time there before I have to have 2 complete working bikes. You know, and this is also the time of year right now, like the other project I got going on in the office is I'm forecasting all of our street tires, right? I'll bring in probably, I don't know, 2,500 tires at this time of year. All right, we are now ready to get this stuff all boxed up and send it out to my man, Lenny. We're gonna have a lot more of this videos. I had to buy a new trailer this year too, and buy an actual real truck. I got a heavy duty Duramax AT4 3500, big 28-foot trailer. The trailer needs to be outfitted with all the pit bull trailer restraints, right? I'm gonna hang the stands on the walls, have dedicated spots for the toolbox. We're even gonna kind of cover some of that as we go through that process. You have any questions? Leave those in the comments section. I answer all this stuff myself.